morning, been thinking about structure versus routine. I am very conscious that within our household there are some people that need high levels of routine, whereas there's others of us, myself included, that gets incredibly stressed by routines. I'm much more of a do things when I need to do them. So for example, with food, if I had a choice, I might have 2 meals a day or 3 meals a day or 5 meals a day, and they would be at varying different times. For my son, he definitely needs meals at specific times of day, and he needs to know when food is coming, and he needs to know what's happening. And my husband doesn't seem to work particularly well with routine either. And the outcome of this is that sometimes things don't get done. And I was talking with a friend yesterday, and she was saying how important it is to have routine. And I was like, I felt my shoulders rise, and I felt myself getting stressed. And I was saying, I can't work with routines. I find them really stressful. And she was going on about how important they were. And I suddenly realised that for me, there's a very big difference between structure, which I think is important, and routine. So for example, I'm going to explain it with the use of this little chart that I've made. Now this chart, you see, is laminated, so we can tick things off and then wipe it clean afterwards. It's got lovely colourful pictures, and it's got clear activities. Now this is our morning chart to help us figure out what to do with the kids every morning. So neither my husband or I are particularly good at communicating in the morning. And obviously this is a bit challenging when you're trying to get kids ready for school. So I devised this little chart, and this really helps if both of you are neurodiverse, or both of you struggle with structure or routine, or both of you struggle with memory. And for me, this is an example of structure. Routine would be doing everything on this list in order. It would be doing the same thing at the same time every day, and that's what routine means to me. Structure is a system that you devise where you can operate more flexibly within it, and that suits me a lot better. So the things on this list all need doing in the morning, but they don't necessarily need doing at the same time or in the same order. So for some people, they would get out of bed, make the bed immediately, open the blinds, or open the curtains, make a cup of tea, make the breakfast, sit down, get dressed, whatever order that might be in. For me, it means I can pick and choose what actually works for me. So I might start making the bed and then get distracted because I can hear someone's hungry, and I'll go make them a drink or some breakfast, and then I think, okay, I can tick drink off, I can tick breakfast off, and then I get the kids dressed, but I forget to put socks on. So I can tick off got dressed, and then I go back to my room because I remember I haven't got ready yet, and I get dressed and I think, oh, I must open the blind, must make the bed. And then I tick that off and I go back to the beginning of my structure. And so for me, this sort of system works a lot better because I don't feel like I'm bound into this routine that I find very hard to fit into, because for me, the emerging needs become more important than what's on my list. And usually those emerging needs are part of what is on my list, so I can tick it off. So for me, those are the key differences between structure and routine. And I have found in our household that having these structures and these checklists meets the needs of those who require routine, because they can see what's coming and they can see what has happened and they see what needs to be done. And it works for people who don't like routine, because we can still figure out how to get everything done, but we can do it in a more flexible way. This kind of fits into something else I've been thinking about, which is how couples work together if you're both neurodiverse. So I see a lot of videos about how you can support your ADHD partner, or how your partner can support you if you've got ADHD. And these often assume that one partner is neurotypical. And I've been thinking a lot, what happens when you're both neurodiverse, or you both struggle with the same things? And so, I've been working hard to try and come up with systems that work when both of you may be struggling with the same thing. So, you can try doing this for yourself. It doesn't have to be fancy and laminated. It could just be a post-it note that you write out the night before and you can cross it off. So, you do whatever works for you, but I do highly recommend doing this, especially if you have a family where there is a mix of needs between routine and not routine. So give it a go, let me know how it goes, and if you've got any other great tips, let me know. I'm happy to, always wanting to hear new tips. And as always, if this is of help, then please do subscribe or share with other people that may find it of interest. Have a great day, everyone.